Hi everyone! Welcome to my 11th Flosstube video. A big thank you for everyone who's returning and a huge hello to anyone that might be new today. I love having all of my guests with me and just to talk about my cross stitch and my craft. It's really great when I get to hear from you guys in the comments, so do remember at the end of the video to drop a quick comment, say hello, let me know where you are, where you're watching. I love all of that sort of stuff. I just love to hear back from you guys. But yeah, welcome, let's get into it. So in the past 2 weeks, of course, I have been stitching on my big project. A lot of you guys will be familiar with my Pokemon cross stitch, but I also worked on the band sampler for Hogwarts Year 1 from the Black Needle Society. So that's this one here. This one only took me a couple of weeks and I have finished it for now. So with this piece, you could choose to stitch just the 1 year, which I know a lot of my friends chose to do. So they've just stitched 1 year on one piece of fabric and they'll get a new piece of fabric every year for the next 6 years to make the 7. Or they gave the dimensions for you to be able to do it all as one piece. And because I'm a crazy woman, I've decided to do all 7 together. So it's a finish for now. It's not a real finish because I don't have the others, but they also haven't been designed. So, 50-50, I guess. So it's been living in here, which is my Ravenclaw sleeve from Love You More Studio Co. These things are amazing. They're actually for books, so they're like really, really puffy. But they expand a heap, they hold a lot, they keep everything clean, they keep everything tidy, they are a godsend, and I don't have to worry about zippers. I'm very bad with zippers. I always break them. So I thought I'd show you guys and talk about the little bits that I changed. It's not a huge amount. I stuck pretty well to Katie's design. So here she is. Got our quote down the bottom and our eyelets. Our mirror, I'm not sure how it's picking up. My mirror is something I changed. So all of this middle part. So here she is. Got our quote down the bottom and our eyelets. Our mirror, I'm not sure how it's picking up. My mirror is something I changed. So all of this middle part is done with the DMC Light Effects range. I found using it in the top leg only was really, really good for it. So I did the whole bottom leg in white, which was that B5200. And then I did one strand of white and one strand of the light effects just to bring it across. So whenever you move near it, you get this nice shimmer. It's not really coming up, unfortunately. I don't have wonderful lighting here. But that is one of the things I changed. So that came out pretty well. I'm really happy with that bit. Of course, everybody had their own version of their beans. So I have my orange bean for Beth. Beth let me help her pick out her colors one night, and she had to have an obnoxious orange bean when we were video chatting. So I decided that I would also have a Beth bean that was obnoxiously orange. And it's just a variegated DMC. I used variegated DMCs for all my beans. So they were charted in red on the original pattern, but of course you're encouraged to change them and make your flavors for your project. I also changed my key a little bit. Okay, I am terrible with backstitching. It's not my thing, especially when they're symmetrical. I can get this side and everything's happy and pretty and correct. And then if you have to flip the symmetry and it's got curves in it, it's like my brain forgets how angles work. So they never match up. They're never the same. But I'm pretty happy with my key anyway. One wing is a bit squashed, but it's supposed to be damaged. Someone else caught it first, right? Right? It's okay. I also used the étoile instead of the normal thread, just to pull through that one. So it sparkles a little bit on the move. Sorry, this piece is hard to hold because it's so long and the fabric, you guys, is taller than me. When I stand, I have to hold it like this. So it's a bit heavy, but one day I'll work out what to do with it. And then the other thing I changed was just the color at the bottom. I used the same coating, but I used the étoile again, so it would just have a little bit of a little bit of a sparkle in it. Otherwise, it's off chart. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around how Katie managed to design this, because it's amazing and it looks really dark, but there's no black. This is one of 2 projects that I've done that has absolutely no 310 in it. And it's crazy. You never really think about how much 310 you use. Normally, even for little things, it's everywhere. It's just everywhere. But not in this. There is none. So if you want to break from black, this is the way to go. Go see Katie. She'll look after you. I have had a lot of questions about this pattern too from people who didn't come to the retreat. It was released as a retreat exclusive, but I'll link her below. I encourage you very much to go and check out the Black Needle Society. Jump on, get on her mailing list, because she discussed this with everyone that went to the retreat. And because of how much interest has been generated by the public for this pattern, it will be released next year. So you can stitch this. You're just going to have to wait that little bit of time. And considering we're already in month 8, we're in August, you don't really have that long to wait. So it's just something to think about. If you are interested, again, I'll whack a link to Katie's shop below, so you can go and check her out and keep in touch with her. Sorry, my video cut out there. So I will throw a link below, and you can keep in touch with Katie down there. She also does a lot of subscription boxes, which is how I found this. So you can go in and you can purchase a box that will have a bunch of mystery items in it and a pattern that are all to a theme. If you go onto her Instagram, actually, she's just released the list for next year. So you can have a good look through and get an idea of when you want to pick them up and go get them. So I do recommend them. The boxes are always more than worth their money. There's a lot of hand designed stuff in them. Like I got a great Hogwarts cup with my last one. I've got scarves. I've got pampering items. I've got zipper pulls. You know, you just get so much for your money. Oh, and there's almost always a candle. The candles, guys, they're to die for. So go check her out. Now, as I mentioned, the other thing I worked on was my baby. So I've put in just over 2,000 stitches in the last week. And I've worked out that if I can do 2,700 stitches every week from now until September, I can finish her for my birthday. I might leave 1 or 2 so that I can say I put the last stitch in on my birthday, because that'd be kind of nice. I'm going to have the day off, and I'm planning to just have like a spa day on my own at home. But yeah, so she's really started, loose thread, sorry guys. She's really starting to come in this bottom line. So I started this page last week. This is all last week, and some of this down here. If you're wondering, this is my elusive thread. This is white. It should be brown. The few spots that are missing on this page are also this brown. They are number 829. I've been to 3 craft stores in Adelaide, 2 Spotlights, 1 Lincraft. Nobody has DMC 829. It's not an étoile, it's not a silky, it's not anything fancy. It's just a normal thread, but do you think I can find it? Not for the life of me. So I'm going to keep looking, and hopefully I can get it, because Venusaur's mouth, you guys. Sorry, these are all my needle minders. I used to hold up so many pages on this. But yeah, Venusaur's mouth is driving me crazy town banana pants. I cannot find this. I cannot stitch it. I feel guilty moving on to Charizard's page without finishing him. Also, I don't want my last stitches to be brown. I've orchestrated this so that it will be nice. I'm doing red. I'm going to do the brown. And this page is blue. blues and greens are my favourite, so I want to do them. Not yucky brown. So yeah, wish me luck. I'm hoping to find that soon. Oh, I got some stitchy kindness. And you already know who I'm going to say it's from. It's from my girl, Flizzy Fish Cross Stitcher. So she had gone to America before COVID. I believe it was last year that she got these, or possibly the year before. So she went and bought the new release DMC colors, which of course are 1 through 35. She ended up with 2 sets. So because she is an absolute angel, she has gifted me 1 through 35. And you guys, these are such pretty colors. I am in love with them. They're all pastels. They're all really gentle. Look at this pink. This is the perfect little girl pink. Like, I'm just nuts about them. This is a great purple. I can't wait to use them on some projects. I'm thinking maybe I should start something that's just words so that I can use them. Because they're really soft, they're really delicate, they're just gorgeous. So she got me those, and I'm very, very grateful because she is amazing and she's just so generous. She's the loveliest person. If you get a chance to chat with her, do it. But yeah, that was a really nice little gift that I got given from her. I am a bobbinator, as you can see. I like to keep all my threads in these little, I think they're tackle boxes technically. And I like to keep them in there because I can open them, I can see all the numbers, I know what I've got, what I need, what I don't have, which projects I can start based on it. For me, it's a good organizing system. It works well for my brain. I have seen people just keep thread loose, and I don't know how you guys can do it. It doesn't make sense in my head just because of the way my brain works, I guess. It just doesn't seem to connect for me. Because I think it would go everywhere. I think I did try it when I was new at stitching. I tried to keep them all on their own, but I had a lot of trouble with it because my threads kept knotting and getting stuck, and I didn't know what to do with them. So I went to bobbinating, and it's amazing. My husband actually bobbinates with me when I need to bobbinate my pieces. So he has built this little attachment. It's about this long that goes on the front of a handheld drill. And he's got a drill that you can run slowly. So I take the thread and hold it like that, and he holds the drill, clips the card into it, and he pushes the button, and next thing I know, it's wound. We tuck in the tailie, and we write on the card. So it's a nice little thing. We get to do it together, which is kind of nice. He's not into the stitching, but he tries. He listens to Flosstube with me. He likes my videos. He leaves comments. He's just the cutest guy. So he's really, really sweet, and I love doing that with him. It's just something fun, and at first it's always really, really hard because they get knotted, or the speed is wrong, or they're all puffy at one end of the card and then nothing at the second end. But after a while, we get really fast at it, and it becomes a game to see who can have their turn and do the neatest ones. So it is a lot of fun to do with him. I really enjoy that. Now, because this video is not very long, I don't have a lot of updates for you, unfortunately, being so monogamous with my 2 projects. I thought I'd do the travel stitch tag. So it's a really short tag. It's only 3 questions, and I thought it'd be a great way to round out our video today. So the first question is, do you bring stitching with you when you travel? And the answer is yes. Stitching is my happy place. Stitching is my sanity. Without it, I honestly just can't function properly. When I don't stitch, I get really anxious, I get really nervous, and I get twitchy. I don't like having nothing to do with my hands. I like craft. I like, just having something to fiddle with. Like even now, I am playing with a pen while we're filming because I can't sit still. So I always do. The second question is, what is your favorite project to bring on trips? So this one's hard because, of course, you finish a lot of projects as you go, but it depends on what kind of trip. So I do 2 trips. Most of the time, I'll do a nice trip with my husband where we'll go interstate or even just sort of down to the different wineries and stuff, and we'll go for a couple of days. And in that case, I like to bring a small project. So at the moment, my favorite small travel is the Trojan Rose by Tori Bailey. It's a DMC kit. I've had it for a while, and you can see it's been folded up forever, but it was Kit Aida, and it's just really stiff. Like, really stiff. So I like this one because it's on 14 count, so it's really easy. I can do it on the plane, I can do it in a car. It's good for tired eyes, which I often get when you're busy and walking around all day. And after being in the sun, it's nice to sit in your hotel room and just stitch away a little bit. So I really like doing that one because she is quite large. It's very friendly. It's very forgiving. There's a couple of personalized mistakes from travel in this one. But she is my small project that I like to take. And of course, my second thing or type of holiday is one where I actually go home. So I live in a different state to my grandparents. My grandparents, I've always considered where they are to be my true home. I wasn't technically brought up there, but it's mine, so we go with it. So every time I get a chance, I like to do one holiday a year where I get to go home and just be with them. And they live in this beautiful little country town called Stawell, which is in Victoria. You might have heard of them if you've heard of the Easter Gift, which is a foot race. It's famous around the world. That's where it's from. So it's my town, and that's the big thing. You can never go home at Easter because there's just nowhere to stay and the roads are packed. So we usually go different times of the year. I usually try and go for my birthday, and it's a wonderful place. So when I'm there, I check my phone once a day. For the rest of the time, it's on airplane mode in my bedroom, which, fun fact, has not changed since I turned 15. It's still my bedroom. So it's got a lot of old stuff in it, old toys, and it's actually got a lot of cross stitches my nan did in there. So next time I go, I'll try and film a little segment of the room, show you some stuff that she's worked on. It's mainly houses, but it's pretty cute stuff. But when I go there, of course, I have a lot of free time. So I have a couple of adventures. I go out with my granddad. We like to go to the bush and walk around and go up the hill and town, and he likes to take me to other towns, and we have a great time. But when I have my days with my nan, we both have some craft, and we sit in 2 big recliners with cups of coffee, and we just work on our crafts. So sometimes she's knitting, sometimes she's doing Sudoku, sometimes she's making a crocheted tablecloth. She's very, very cool. She's very talented. And I sit there in my corner with this guy and I stitch and I stitch. It's very, very easy when I'm there to get 1,000 stitches done in a day because we just sit and chat all day. We make morning tea for Grandad, we take it down. We make afternoon tea for Grandad, we take it down. We have dinner together, we have lunch. The rest of the day is just project and chats. And it's so nice, you guys. It's my favorite thing. So I have taken this with me for a good couple of years. They're very used to seeing it. They don't know what any of the characters are. They're all the thing from the Nintendo. But they like seeing the colors and they like seeing the progress. They keep asking where I'm up to and if I'm done. So this is my favorite project to take over there because obviously I've got a permanent setup. I've got a beautiful chair to sit in. I've got super strong lighting to use. And most importantly, I have 3 nesting doll tables that go around my seat to hold all of my gear. So it doesn't matter. I have space for my coffee. I have space for my plans. I have space for everything. So she travels. She doesn't look like she should. She's too big, but she definitely does. she gets a holiday just as much as me. The final question for today is, what are your indispensable tools to bring to help you on a stitching trip? This is one. So this is my hummingbird. He's recently replaced my needle threaders and my needle cutter, my thread cutters. So he's got a thread cutter up in his back here, and his nose is a needle threader. It's got a really little dip in it to put the threads in, and I love taking these. I usually just pop them with my needles and my snaggy, and I put them down in my coin purse, and I put them in with all my coins. I know they're safe. They've both got great covers, so they're good. They're easy enough to carry. They're fairly small, as you can see, which just makes them really good little tools to have when you're traveling, when you're on the go, because you don't need to pack scissors, you don't need to pack a threader, you don't need to pack 100 different things. Like, you can fit your needles pretty easily in the Snag Nabbit case. So for those of you that don't know what a Snag Nabbit is, I advise getting one. It'll change your life. I didn't know what one was until about a year ago. I went to visit Felicity and she showed me, and I now have 3 of them. So they look like a really long needle, and you can see from the picture the top is textured. So it's different to a normal needle. It doesn't have an eye. Basically, whenever you have a little thread that sticks up a bit more than you'd want it to, you put this on top of it over the hole and you just push it through. And because of all the texturing, it grabs the snag end and it pulls it through to the back of your project so it sits nice and flat. It's really satisfying. I have come home from work when I've been really stressed, and all I've done for about an hour is go through different projects and use my snaggy and get rid of all those little bits. It's one of those weirdly satisfying moments. I'm sure some of you have also done this. I can't be the only weird one. It's just really nice. Everything goes from tip, tip, to whoop, and you can hold it up and level it and look at it, and it's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So yeah, if you don't have one, I do recommend it because they're an amazing little piece. So I guess that's it from me. Future plans are to work on Pokemon like crazy. If any of you have inspiration or ways I can get it done and still make it look good, I could really use some encouragement and tips to move it forward. I'm getting to the point right now where all I can see are my abandons on the shelf. Well, they're not really abandoned. I'll get to them. But all those little projects that I just really want to stitch, you know, the Lion King, the playing card, the bothy threads, they're all there. My petal fairy, they're sitting, they're calling my name, and I'm starting to get that new start itch. I really just want to do a whole bunch of new starts. So I think maybe for my birthday, if I have been good and I finish Pokemon, I'm going to indulge and start like 12 projects. And then immediately cry the next month because I have to go and finish my Nan's cross stitch, which isn't a bad thing. It's a nice piece. It's just not calling me. So for those that are new and haven't heard about Nan's cross stitch before, Nan's cross stitch is one that she was working on sort of before I started stitching, and then she got bad arthritis in her hands and now she can't hold a needle properly, so she can't stitch it. So it was passed around my family for maybe 10-ish years, to different family members, asking them to put some stitches in and finish it. So it became a bit of a round robin, but no one was really interested in doing it. No one wanted to pick it up. They didn't really have the time. And it's a bit of a difficult one because it's on 14 count Aida, so it's on a nice large grid, which is great, but it's got a lot of squash stitches and half stitches and 3/4 stitches and back stitching and French knots, and it's just got a lot of technical stuff that people weren't comfortable doing. And I think that's fair with, you know, a big full coverage piece that you have pieces on it you haven't learned yet, things you're not comfortable with. It's no wonder that it sort of sat in a lot of cupboards and it didn't get a lot of attention. Um, so I need to finish that. I really want to finish it for her and get it framed and sent out. But I'm falling into the same trap as a lot of my family members. Um, we've all kind of given it a go. I've done maybe a quarter of it. So it's just over a quarter and a bit finished because I did give it a good go last year. And then I had to put it down because it started to get into those sections where people didn't know what squash stitches were, so they hadn't done them, or people had done full stitches instead of 3/4 stitches, and I had to unpick and go over and piercing the middle of an Aida square, you guys. It's not fun. Kit Aida is angry. That's how I'd describe it. It's angry. It's very stiff and very unforgiving. So I have to pick that up next, and I have to get that finished. So I think starting a whole lot of new things in September. So it'll be New Start September for me, and I'll just start a whole bunch of stuff, put in a couple stitches on everything, put them all aside, and then from October through to, I'll give myself till February. I will stitch on Nan's work, and I will very hopefully get it up to back stitching or finishing, and then I can go back to one of my other pieces. But those are my plans right now. So stitch like crazy, get the big guy finished, start a whole lot of new things, and then devote all my time to Nan's work so that I can get it up on her wall. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys are working on. I'd love to hear if you have any of the same projects as me. Has anyone else done the Trojan Rose? I've seen a couple of variations of carousel horses come up lately, and it's been really, really cool. I would love to hear from you all. I'll see you in the comments. I'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.